unaona ule mtu mjinga anakunywa pombe tangu akiwa 15 years mpaka 70 years, but he is very very stable. But take a doctor, a professor, so professors wako hapa, don't try them, because you are bright people and you are the cream of society. We don't want to lose you. I don't know why the correlations between drug abuse and the intellect of a person. These people are very bright, engineers, architects, doctors, name all those professionals, are likely to be affected more by drug abuse than the general population. And therefore, you end up losing somebody whom we have invested a lot simply to drugs. Wengine watasema sasa huyu county commissioner ameleta mambo ya chang'aa kwa mkutano ya academic, si ndio? So you don't want to bring in issues of drugs. But however, my friends and my colleagues and my partners here, we cannot rule out the possibility, because we have now drugs and substance being the biggest threat to our survival. Currently, when we had a meeting in Karen the other day with the Deputy President and our CS, who happens to come from this place, there are 5 threats to our survival today in this country. One of them is terrorism. Another one is drug and substance abuse. Ingine the environmental change. The reason why I'm talking about drug and substance abuse, as rightly the professor said, that you can have a very, very, very bright mind, a very, very, very promising person, but we end up losing that person because of drug and substance abuse. You cannot rule out the effect of that. And when you look around where we are seated right now, I am sure each and every one of us can be able to relate to 1 or 2 people within an environment where they come from that has been affected by drugs and substance abuse. So many people who have gotten to drugs were influenced by others who are not there now when they are facing the predicament on their own. And it becomes a big, big, big challenge to our community. We have lost people of great value to our society simply because of drugs. Wale wanalima hii bangi ni wa Kenya. Wale wanatumia hii bangi ni wa Kenya. Sasa sisi haituhusu, because mtu akikuja kukodisha shamba kwako unampatia, si ni kweli? And because at some point the planting of bangi in Tanzania was not illegal, then they would come to our country freely. Now you wonder how comes it's being grown on the other side, but the consumers are in our country. Then alongside with the DCC here, I worked within Marsabit, so we were bordering Ethiopia. Sasa ikasemekana ile Ethiopia ndio quality mzuri zaidi. So now they are turning away from Migori, it is now coming from the north. So it is unfortunate that our country is the destiny of all the drugs from the south and from the north. Now we have shifted to Tanzania, to Ethiopia, kwa sababu wanasema ile ndio quality yake iko juu. Ukipiga kidogo uko sawa. But unfortunately, if you go to Marsabit town today, and most of us who have worked in Marsabit will tell you that wale watu ambao wamekuwa almost like zombies. Ukitembea, it's a small town, but the number of youth who have turned to become zombies ni wengi sana because of using those drugs. And those are people we have already lost, but we don't want to lose any more. Youth, tafadhali, focus. Mnapenda kutumia the word focus, but I'm encouraging you to focus. And when you have one person being affected by drugs and substance abuse, it has a multiplier effect. Because when you have a family head who is affected by drugs, he ends up losing a job or maybe business failing. He has a family. So it already has a multiplier effect, because what happens is that the economic ability of that family is ruined. Secondly, it becomes a security challenge. When you have people who are using bang and hard drugs, definitely those people become a security threat to our country and to the society. And therefore it has a serious implication, not to mention the health, because you'll have to invest a lot of money to treating these people who are affected by drugs, and therefore in one way or another, either directly or indirectly, hampering that community, bringing down the gains that have been made in that community. And as a parent, those ones, the young ones who are here, it is very painful for a parent who has invested his valuable time and resources to bring you up to this level, only to lose you to drugs and substance abuse. And I'm saying that to the young people because that is very, very rampant in our institutions. And we have to look for a way, either through peer guidance or talking or through other mechanisms so that we can be able to address the challenge within the shortest time possible. There's a time we used to go for training when I was employed as a DO by NACADA, and we used to be told it is easier to avoid getting into drugs than coming out of drugs because there are stages to addiction. So you start with one sip or one puff of bangi. Tomorrow, utasema wacha nipitie after work or maybe after class, another puff. Then with time, 2, 3, 4 weeks later, you cannot stay without having one in the evening. Same with alcohol. And that is how it takes you to drug dependency and drug addiction. Wale wazazi wako pa wanajua the frustration they go through wakati mtoto anamaliza shule and he cannot be able to be placed anywhere because the course that you did is no longer marketable. Sasa mwingine alikuja akaniambia mimi nataka kazi. Nimefanya business management. Nikauliza sasa umefanya business management alafu manage business ya nani? Because you know when I start a business I've been managing it. I'm not saying doing business management is bad, but also try to see how you can utilize that knowledge to be able to start your own enterprise. Don't go to the course and the classroom saying that somebody must employ me. That would be the wrong notion. And because we have created a mindset of coming from university, somebody must employ you. And then we have people who have started after Form 4.